Okay, when the console comes on, you will either load a show file, which is a file of the mixing console with all the inputs and outputs set and channels labeled and processing, some processing already in place. But if you don't have that, if you've just started working in this venue or on this mixing console, then you will first initialize the desk, initialize the mixing console. And the way to do this on the Midas M32, and it's really similar on the X32, is go to Setup, on the first page, which is called Global, using this encoder here, choose Initialize and Console. Press Yes. What that does is resets a lot of the parameters of the console back to a default state. Like, for example, this time I'll do it again, but if we look at that, if this fader was up, and now I'm going to press that, do that same sequence of initialization and console again, that's a reset. So it's like flattening the desk, that in a studio or on an analog console, well, in a studio with an analog console, you would be going down, for example, the auxiliaries and flattening them, reducing the send level, and you would be going across these faders, and you would be making sure they're faded down and making sure it's perhaps not routed to anywhere, and flattening the desk, setting it back to default or 0 values. So when you've done that on the M32, the next thing to do is get the signal generator ready so you can send some test signal out to the monitor system. It is possible to do that with a device called the pink stick. There's a pink stick that outputs pink noise, and it's XLR, so you can plug it into a snake or stage input. But in this case, let's use the signal generator because you might not have a pink stick. So, signal generator goes like this. So, if in doubt and you're not sure where to find a signal generator, go to the monitor section of a mixing console. Monitor section usually has a local monitor level. That would be like for near field speakers on the bridge of the console, for example, or headphone level. Find that area. On this desk, it's here, and if you click this view button, it changes the software screen to the relevant settings for this area of control. Then on the software screen, on the software screen, these are the tab buttons. You can tab right or left. Tab to your right until you get to the page of settings that has to do with the oscillator. I sometimes might say signal generator, and then I sometimes might say oscillator. It's the same thing. Different manufacturers call it either signal generator or oscillator. So, a few things to do here. First of all, choose where you want to send the signal to. In this case, mix bus 1. That would be the monitor wedge over on the right-hand side of the stage, the furthest one that you can now see in shot. So that's stage right. What we want to do is switch that signal generator onto pink noise, which it's currently set to. You can do that here in the middle. So it's set to pink noise. That's equal energy per octave. So that's going to test pretty much full frequency of the monitor wedge, and it's going to sound more similar to how our ears perceive that range of frequencies than if we were to use white noise. Then we're going to click, I'm going to fade it down first, and once we've got the monitor amplifier switched on, we will click generate and fade it up, noticing that we've got level leaving the console in the top left hand corner. So the monitor amplifiers are here. They are the lighter silver ones, the Macrotech analog amplifiers. There is no digital signal processing in here. Indeed, there are no mute buttons. All you can do is switch it on and fade it up. So this is the amplifier channel trim. We've got one channel per mix. Mix is just a send to the monitor wedge in front of an artist on stage. In this case, we can turn anywhere between 12 midday and 2 p.m. is going to get a typical level for the average of things going on this particular small stage. By the time you get to 2 p.m, that's probably louder requirement for perhaps a rock and roll band on this stage. That's going to get pretty loud. For testing right now, we can go 12 midday. We'll just test one of these mixes right now, but if we were going to test the others, then we would fade the others up to 12 midday as well. This one's not on yet. These red lights stay on, that's normal. When we drive signal hard into these amplifiers, we will get this green light lighting up. That's input signal present. Okay, so that's ready to go. We'll talk later about the listen wedge, which is a wedge that you've got down by you in monitor at the side of the monitor desk. That will also need fading up to 12 midday once we get onto that during class.